So I'm here today with Sideman, all day, also known as David Michelson.
Yep.
So we're here today, and we're just gonna be talking through the whole journey, the story of how he's been able to do what he wants to do. So again, turning your dream into reality. So let's start from the very beginning. So how long have you been doing your actual work for? So just say like your memes, your Instagram. And
I've been doing it for about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years.
okay. So prior to that 2 years, then what was you doing before that?
There was times when I dabbled in it, but I never took it as seriously as I took it like 2 years ago when I really said, okay, I'm gonna make a thing of this now. So before that, I was just working, dabbling in things, being in little projects here and there, but nothing serious.
Okay, that's good. So at what stage was it like? Was you working for so long and you was like, you know what, I've had enough of work and I just wanna start doing this?
It all started with I had a decent job. I was a manager of a store. And it wasn't that hard work, but still work was work, and I didn't want to do it. And I had this idea that came to me about a series called Roadman, and that's when I started. And then people started calling me Roadman. I only recently changed my name to Sideman, but yeah, that's how it started, with an idea and a conversation with a friend, where a friend was telling me, listen, you will never make it in comedy. And I used that as fuel. He just didn't think I was funny. I didn't think that I could make it in that vein, but I just used that as fuel, and then yeah.
Okay, so that sounds good, man. So when you first actually started, like you were saying, like you were dipping in and out of it.
Yeah.
So when you first started, just say like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
what was one of the first things that you done? Was it a meme? Was it a video?
It was a series called Roadman on YouTube. I wasn't even on Instagram. It was a series called Roadman on YouTube, and the premise of the series was that he was a thug, but he got hypnotized that anytime he heard the word blood, he would turn into a nerd and no longer be a thug. So that was on YouTube, and that's how I started. And then I started being promoted on Instagram, and the Instagram just started blowing up. And yeah.
Okay, that sounds good, man. So you first started from YouTube,
Yeah.
and what was the recognition? Did you get a lot of recognition from YouTube? Or?
Yeah, I started to get recognition from YouTube days because I was doing decent numbers, and because I was doing decent numbers on YouTube, more people started to deal with me. And then that's when I came across a big page on Instagram called I'm Just Bait, and then I started getting him to shout out my videos. And when he shouted out my videos, I had him tag my Instagram, because I didn't even have an Instagram account before that. I made an Instagram account just so he could tag me, and from he tagged me, I had like 3,000 followers from the jump. So and then I started building from there.
Wow. So you say like the first turning point in all of this, you'd say was you being able to go on I'm Just Bait page.
Yeah, big. It's been a big help from then and until now, until this day, from the beginnings of my career, as you'd call it.
Yeah, that's really good, man. I've heard really good things about I'm Just Bait as well. It's helped out a lot of people in this industry of music as well as the comedy game. And yeah, man. So you're from Birmingham.
Yeah. From town. Stand up, sit down, whatever we want to do.
So there's a lot of comedians from London and mainly London and Birmingham. There is a few, but there's not many. So being able to go to BBC.
Yeah.
And be recognised as a Birmingham person, how did it feel?
Feels good. It feels good. And I had this conversation with Charlie Slough just the other day about why he picked me, and he saw something in me, and he could have picked bigger people than me. He told me that verbatim. There was bigger people there that could have been picked, but he chose me, and because he saw something in me that I see in myself. I'm a gift to humanity, and so and so I just want to share that gift. And there's more in me than people know, and people will begin to see that as that unravels. Yeah.
That sounds good, man. So we've jumped a little bit forward into your career. So we've gone on. So you've been recruited now by the BBC, and it was Charlie Slough who actually noticed you. Like, how did the BBC how did that whole thing come about?
It's Charlie that brought me in fully, 100%. He started following me about a year and a half ago, and he'd been watching me from then. And he said he knew about this show from about 16 to 18 months ago, and had me in mind. And just when it came to fruition, he called me in. And I was there, ready to work.
That's crazy, man. So have you got like a management team who manages all this kind of stuff, like the BBC kind of stuff, or do you do that all yourself? Or
I have a team. Different people do different things. But yeah, like some people, like obviously with the BBC thing, we have a producer on the show. His name is Alex, and he handles all of the stuff for the show. We have editors, so like Lucy, she edits and stuff like that. And then I have like my team in Birmingham, my photography and videography company, Click Jones, as well, where they handle the Birmingham side of things as well. So yeah, different people for different things.
Big shout out to Click Jones as well, man.
And my business partner as well, Theo Johnson, as well, that thingy. rides with me as well, and Jamal as well.
So we're
He's like a manager of sorts.
It's all one take, so we're keeping it real here.
Yeah,
so
no, it's called these pricks are in the back.
Alright, cool, man. Now, big shout to T as well, man. He's doing good things in Birmingham as well.
Right.
So how did the idea actually come about? So, like, let's take it back to the days when you were working in the shop and the whole of this roadman all day, sideman all day. What made you actually want to go into comedy in the first place? Like, why comedy? Why not rapping or something like that?
I did used to rap back in the day, but like rap is just a more difficult thing, and like I've just always been a person that made people laugh. I've always been somebody that considered myself a bit of an entertainer and always liked when people were entertained by what I was saying. So yeah, that it was a no-brainer for me. I like being funny, and I'm cool with being funny. I didn't have such an ego or so proud that I wasn't willing to make a fool of myself to make people laugh. So it came naturally.
That's really good, man. I think that's something that's very important, where you're happy and it becomes more of a natural thing and you're not forcing something. I think that's really, really important, man. And to be able to hear your story as well today, it's been inspiration for myself as well. In the sense of like you've been able to work your whole job and now you transitioned into something.
First and last job I ever had.
Wow.
I never worked in a normal job ever again.
Okay. So at what point was it when you actually left your job? Was you doing a little bit of it? Was you doing it like quite a lot of the time?
I started making promotion money to a point where I said, okay, I don't need to work anymore, so I left the job. I'd already accumulated a certain amount of money whilst at the job where I felt comfortable enough to leave, because I'm a saver. I don't spend money on nothing but food and shelter. So yeah, I did that, and then I joined up to Click Jones as a company. So I had two methods of income. Well, lots of methods of income if you consider promotion, stand-up comedy, Click Jones, and just whatever else I would get up to, motivational talks, and whatever else I would get up to. So yeah, it'd just be like became my source of income, and I quickly realized that I started making more money doing that than I was when I was at my job. But quickly, you know what I mean? So yeah, and then now, lol.
So, so like you made sure that you were making enough money from what you actually wanted to do before you actually left your
yeah. I mean, no, job. it was always still a mental risk, because I found out that I made a decent amount of money and I did save, but that's just my sensibilities as a person. You know what I mean? I grew up poor. You know what I mean? Like dirt poor. So because I grew up the way I grew up, money was always valuable to me, so I didn't waste it or you know what I mean? Just be flamboyant with my money. So I kept my money. I like my money in my account. So because I saved up, I was able to do that. I made that decision comfortably rather than making it, you know, I wouldn't say that I stepped out on a limb. I had no money and I slept in a car for days. But I had my days of being poor when I was growing up, and I didn't want to have no more days of that. So when I got a job, I made sure that I kept my job secure. I made sure that I kept my finances secure. And since I've been working, I've never really been in a financial trouble, because I made sure that I wasn't in financial trouble, because I grew up using Vaseline as lip balm and hair oil and cooking oil. So because I grew up like that, I wasn't trying to have that again.
You know what?
I was born in Jamaica, so I grew up in one of the poorest parts of Jamaica.
Okay, so you were born in Jamaica, and then
I came here, yeah.
How old were you when you came here then?
I came here like 11, 12.
Okay, but did you know a lot of English, or how's your English then?
Yeah, Jamaicans know English.
Yeah, like your accent wise and all that.
Yeah, I lost my Jamaican accent quite quickly.
Wow, that's really inspiring, man, to hear that you've obviously born in another country as well. You've come here at a young age, and that's crazy, man. So like, that you were talking, let's take it back a little bit. Click Jones. Tell me about Click Jones. Where's Click Jones?
Click Jones is my photography and videography company based in Birmingham, but we operate all across the UK, and yeah, it says what it does on the tin in it. We do photography, we do videography, we do corporate, we do passion projects, we do all kinds. So it goes from, you know, taking portfolio pictures to doing weddings, corporate events, adverts, all kinds. So whatever your video photography needs, we got that for you, and yeah, that's who I roll with.
Okay, that's really good. So you're still with them at the moment, right?
Yeah,
you started with them and you're still with them right now, yeah?
You never know, innit? I might burn these niggas at some point, but nah. I ride with them, you get what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's good when you do things in-house. I feel like it's very smart when you do things in-house. So yeah, I'm still rocking with them.
Nah, that's really good to hear, man. So we've gone through the stage from when you first started, the transition into the whole comedy game, and how you've actually turned your dream into reality. Let's talk about now then. So you're at the BBC. Yeah. What do you do at the BBC?
I'm on the show. I'm on Radio 1 BBC Radio 1 and 1 Extra with Charlie Slough, Monday to Thursday 9 to 11 on his show The 8th, and that's what we do. I'm the co-presenter on the show, and that's what I do from Monday to Thursday. In the daytime I do marketing and adverts for different projects and stuff like that. I'm really in a transitionary period right now of figuring out what I'm doing, so in the process of getting an agent, in the process of doing a lot of things, you know what I mean, so in the process of building in a lot of areas, so it's a really transitionary period for me at the time, at this time. But the one stable thing right now I know I'm doing is that I'm doing the 8th on BBC Radio 1 with Charlie Slough co-presenting Monday to Thursday 9 to 11 p.m.
Okay, that sounds good, man. So the 8th, is that a show?
That's the radio show, yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Charlie Slough, and we've interviewed all kinds of big guests like Giggs, Michael Dapper, Cardi B. Because of that job, I went to 1 Extra Live and I was able to interview Steph London, Notes, Jay Huss. So I've had the opportunity to interact with a lot of celebrities.
So how is that, like, obviously coming from Birmingham, growing up in Birmingham, like while you was growing up, I'm sure like within the radio and like the rap game, there's not many artists from Birmingham that were given that light, and it's always been London. So being able to look at like the London stars like you've never seen, you've only ever seen them on TV or YouTube, like how does that feel? Like people like Giggs involved with like Drake.
It's nice to meet these people. It's nice to be able to interact with these people and meet them in real life and see how they are as people and interview them and have conversations. It's just about good conversations. At the end of the day, they're people like the rest of us, and they inspire. So they inspire me, and also I'm there to inquire about how did you do this, why did you do this, you know what I mean, and what do you intend to do going forward, and to just have a regular conversation, because sometimes a good interview is just finding out what a person has for breakfast in the morning, because those are the things that you don't know. A lot of the things that typically you'd ask, you can find it out on Wikipedia, you know what I mean, so it's just like, that's what we're about.
I think a good question that would be next is, what do you have for breakfast in the morning?
What do I have for breakfast in the morning? Probably Shreddies or Special K.
What is that?
Shreddies. They're one of the greatest cereals that have ever been invented. Shreddies or Special K,
That's really good, man.
These days I've been having salmon and avocado though, because I'm trying to get my rich boy swag on.
Nah, that's really good, man. Like so at the moment, so we've talked about like your transition, like from where you first started, about the BBC. So what is next for Roadman All Day? Like what's the plan? What's the next step?
What's next? Movies and television. I'm gonna be building up my YouTube platform, and I will be springboarding from that to do movies and television. That's the end goal. Movies and television, movies and television, movies and television. And obviously radio. I'll continue to do radio, but I'm doing radio now. That's something I've conquered. Like, I feel like having a radio show where I co-present with Charlie Slough is like the zenith. That's one of the highest places you can get to. So I feel like I've accomplished a great deal as it pertains to radio already. So it's time to move into movie and television. I will continue to progress as it pertains to radio, but still, I feel like radio, I did a lot. And I'm doing a lot right now, and that will continue to be proven and seen over time as we continue to establish our show further, because it's a new show and it's been doing mad numbers, and everybody at the BBC seems to know who I am and be saying hello, and we really love what you're doing with the show. So definitely television.
Definitely, man. It is really impressive on what you've conquered already in such a short space of time. It's only been 2 years that you've been in the game. People have been in it for years and they've not been able to accomplish what you've accomplished.
2 years of mad focus though. I think I've had 2 weeks off in those 2 years. I worked Christmas Day as well.
Wow.
On Christmas Day.
That is crazy.
While people eat turkey and sleep.
That is crazy, man. So like I've seen like your videos online, that kind of stuff, and BBC, they brought you in like with London people. So like the people from Birmingham that you've worked with, so like just say like T1, like Lot of Boys, JK, you got videos with them. How did that come back? Did you know them already from Birmingham, or like did you guys come together?
I don't know. Getting into the industry, T1 is obviously who I met first when we were doing something together that I don't want to talk about because it's dead. But we were doing something together, and then we just noticed that we both had a similar passion and work ethic, and passion and work ethic is something that is very, very hard to find that's similar with an individual. Like, not everybody can work at a certain speed, has a certain passion, has a certain determination. So we immediately clicked, and we immediately saw that we both had a very powerful vision, you know what I mean, for what man want to do. So that's why I consider him a business partner. And then with the other people, just creating contacts, links, getting in touch with people. I got in touch with a lot of boys. I was like, yo, I want to do stuff with you. I got in touch with JK and I said the same. So it's just like, yo, let's work together. Let's collaborate. Let's build. I'm not above saying to people, let's build. I'm a beggar. I'm a professional beg. I slide in man's DMs and I'm like, yo, bro, let's work together. Let's see what we can do. Let's I'll help you promote your thing. You help me promote my thing. Let's do something. That's how I play.
And do you know, I rate that a lot, and it takes a lot to admit that, in the sense of like, people need to help each other, and I can see that you're doing that. You're not.
Need help.
Yeah, exactly.
Help me.
And I really do rate that, in the sense of like, you're not one of those guys to like stub your nose. I mean, you're at the BBC. You don't need to do that. And I still.
But even before I was at the BBC, I would like that because I want my rent paid in it. People using their egos and that, letting their egos get in the way of their rent. I don't let my ego get in the way of my rent. I want my rent.
Nah, that's real. I like that, man. I like that a lot. So we've gone through all the stuff that we needed to today, and it's been a pleasure to be able to interview today. Okay. Just one last thing though, yeah. That coat and that hoodie that you're wearing, it is sick.
Shout out to Kaka Clothing. You get what I'm saying? Keep alive. What is it? Keep alive.
Keep alive. Keep achieving.
You get what I'm saying? I like that. I don't want to die and I want to achieve. So I of course agree with them sentiments. This hoodie here, this one here. People keep telling me about this one, saying it's the hardest thing they've ever seen me, and you get what I'm saying? So you need to come through with the black one. Show me some love, because yo, I'll show you back in it.
Nah, definitely, man. And thank you for being with us today. And any last words?
Any last words? I'm the greatest person I've ever met.
Thank you.